San Francisco 49ers fans, this is Brody, and we need to talk about a shocking incident that has put a significant spotlight on the team's ownership. Over the weekend, 49ers owner Jed York was arrested in Youngstown, Ohio, and this news is raising eyebrows across the league. Now, before we dive deeper into this, drop your city in the comments and let me know your thoughts on this situation. It's certainly not the kind of headlines we expect from our franchise. We're building this community toward 3,000 subscribers, so please subscribe and help us reach that milestone. So what exactly happened? Jed York was taken into custody after responding to an undercover law enforcement ad on a known prostitution website. According to reports, he arranged to meet a woman for sexual activity in exchange for $140. This all went down at a mobile home community, and he was arrested with the phone he used to set up the meeting. He has since pleaded no contest to charges of disorderly conduct and possessing criminal tools, resulting in a 2-day jail sentence and fines totaling $1,150. Now, this incident matters to the San Francisco 49ers for several reasons. Firstly, it brings the personal conduct of the franchise's leadership into sharp focus, which could impact the team's reputation and public image. The NFL is already aware of the situation and plans to review it under their personal conduct policy, which means that there might be more ramifications coming down the line. The immediate impact is already visible. The 49ers have issued a statement acknowledging the legal matter, but have chosen not to comment further, which could signal a desire to move past this as quickly as possible. However, the long-term consequences could be more severe, particularly if the NFL decides to impose any sanctions or if this incident affects York's ability to effectively lead the franchise. On a more positive note, one could argue that this incident might serve as a wake-up call for York, prompting him to reflect on his actions and potentially make changes in how he represents the organization. Leadership issues have plagued the 49ers in the past, and perhaps this could be a pivotal moment for York to reassess his role and responsibilities. However, the main risk here is significant. The public's perception of York and the franchise could suffer irreparable damage, which is particularly concerning given that he's currently going through a divorce, as reported by the San Francisco Chronicle. The combination of personal issues and now this legal trouble could create further distractions for the team. As for my honest take, this situation is troubling. The 49ers have a storied history and a passionate fan base that deserves better from their ownership. It's crucial for York to step up, take accountability, and ensure that his actions do not overshadow the team's performance on the field. And as we turn our attention to the next story, we'll be discussing the implications of recent injuries on the roster and how they might affect the team's chances this season. Stay tuned. And speaking of roster moves, the San Francisco 49ers officially made some significant changes this week that have fans buzzing. The team announced a series of roster transactions, including the addition of linebacker Jones, a player with a complex history that could bring both intrigue and risk to the 49ers lineup. Now, Jones, a former second-round pick by the Atlanta Falcons back in 2016, has had quite the journey. He initially signed a 4-year, $4.546 million contract, which he later extended to a whopping $57 million with $34 million guaranteed. However, the landscape shifted when Atlanta traded him to the Browns for a late-round pick swap in 2024. This is where things start to get interesting. After a stint with the Panthers that ended abruptly with his release post-training camp, he found his way to the practice squad and was eventually called up. Then, the Bills signed him in May 2024, but he faced another cut after preseason. He finally caught a break with the Buccaneers, where he played in all 17 games last season and recorded 29 tackles. So, why does this matter for the San Francisco 49ers? Adding a player like Jones could provide depth and experience to their defense, especially in a season where every game counts. The immediate impact could be felt in the linebacker core, potentially strengthening their run defense and pass coverage. However, there are long-term consequences to consider. Jones has bounced around quite a bit, and while he showed promise with the Buccaneers, the 49ers need to ensure that he can maintain consistency and stay healthy. The strongest argument in favor of this signing is that Jones has proven he can step up when given the opportunity, as seen during his time in Tampa. On the flip side, the main risk here is his track record of being released by multiple teams, which raises questions about his reliability and fit within the 49ers system. Will he be able to adapt quickly and contribute effectively? In my honest opinion, this move carries both potential and uncertainty. The 49ers are clearly looking to bolster their defense, but as we know, not every gamble pays off. It'll be fascinating to see how this plays out on the field. Now, let's move on to a different angle regarding the 49ers' recent decisions and what it could mean for their championship aspirations. In wrapping up our coverage today, we need to tackle a situation that has sent shockwaves through the San Francisco 49ers fanbase: the recent legal troubles involving team president Jed York. Now, this isn't just a minor headline. It's a significant matter that raises questions about leadership and accountability within the organization. So what exactly happened? Jed York was arrested and initially charged with engaging in prostitution, a charge that was later reduced to disorderly conduct and possessing criminal tools. He pled no contest to these misdemeanors, resulting in a fine and a night spent in jail. While the details remain vague, it's troubling to think about the implications of such actions for someone in his position. Now, why does this matter to the San Francisco 49ers? First and foremost, York is a key figure in the organization, impacting everything from business decisions to team culture. His actions can sway public perception and ultimately affect the brand of the 49ers. While the charges don't directly relate to on-field performance, they certainly cast a shadow over the franchise. The immediate impact here? Well, it's a public relations nightmare. The media frenzy surrounding this incident puts pressure on the 49ers to respond and address the situation thoroughly. Fans and stakeholders alike are left wondering how this might affect the team's reputation and its leadership moving forward. In the long term, the consequences could be even more significant. The NFL may take action or impose a sanction, and while York's behavior didn't physically harm anyone, the embarrassment he faces will linger. It's about more than just legal ramifications. It's about the integrity of the franchise and its leadership. On one hand, you can argue that this could serve as a wake-up call for York to reflect on his actions and make better decisions in the future. Redemption is a powerful story, and perhaps this incident could lead him to become a more responsible leader. However, the main risk here is that this could erode trust among fans and sponsors, and that is something that can take years to rebuild. As for my take, it's essential to recognize that while we have a right to know the context of these events, the nitty-gritty details are not our business. York isn't a public official. He's a private individual who made a personal mistake. But as fans, we do have the right to hold him accountable and question his ability to lead the 49ers effectively after such an incident. In conclusion, this incident reveals a lot about the challenges facing the San Francisco 49ers as they navigate leadership and public perception. It's a stark reminder that even at the highest levels, accountability matters. What do you think about how the 49ers should handle this situation? Should they take further action or let it be? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing to help us grow this community toward 3,000 subscribers. We appreciate your support.